Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the July 24th Lebanon Board of Works meeting. Our first order of business will be the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, move on to the roll call members. Madam Clerk, call the roll, please.
Mayor Gentry.
Here.
Bill Stoner.
Here.
Dick Robertson.
Here.
Alan Milburn.
Present.
And Becky's absent this evening.
Yep, thank you. Yep, now we're moving on to the approval of the minutes from our previous meeting. Are there any changes, edits to the minutes? Would entertain a motion to approve.
I make a motion we approve the minutes.
Motion to approve, is there a second?
Second.
Second from Alan. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Those minutes are approved. All right, on to department head reports. First up will be Police Department, Chief Morgan.
Good evening, Board. Since our last meeting, the Lebanon Police Department has responded to 738 calls for service. 20 people were arrested for the following crimes. 6 were operating while intoxicated, 5 were wanted on a warrant, 1 for battery, 1 for domestic battery, 1 for disorderly conduct, 6 for drug-related charges. In that same time frame, LPD took 30 crash reports and sent off 2 handgun carry license applications to the state for final approval. Then for training, Captains Tyson Warmoth and Tommy Nash completed a 2-day course covering outlaw motorcycle gangs. This course focused on the history and hierarchy of the gangs, their criminal activity, and current operations. Our new officers, David Bell, Kevin Elliott, and Brianna Deckard, they'll be getting sworn in at the council meeting. But today they completed their defensive tactics training at the station. Tomorrow they'll be getting certified with their EVOC training, their emergency vehicle operations. LPD firearms instructor Austin Scott completed firearms qualifications for the Advanced Police Department on their range. And then a couple of things I wanted to talk about separate from the training. Saturday was my first time going to the Serve Day out at the park. Freedom Church, I believe, is the one who hosted it, put it on. I was really impressed with that, and all of the community that came out to help the other people. Really impressed with John and the park. I think they did a great job, so I wanted to say that. And then I wanted to explain to the board and some of the people in the public, I'm sure a lot of people have seen the stuff that we did with the Sound of Freedom. I wanted to kind of explain how that happened and why we did what we did. We had a meeting at LPD with a group of officers, and Chaplain Ryan Vincent was there. He's also the pastor for Freedom Church. And as a group, we decided that the movie was putting out a very powerful message, and a message we felt like the people in our community needed to see for awareness purposes. So we got permission from Mayor Gentry and clerk there to go ahead and do what we did. So after that, we went to the movie theater and seen if they would partner with us and give us a pretty good discount to rent a movie theater. And they did. It was actually probably a little less than half price because they agreed with what the movie was saying also. So that first night we sold out the first movie theater pretty quick and ended up having to put people in another one. The second night we sold out the first 2 movie theaters and then filled up a third. So the third night we did the same. It was a powerful movie, and I hope as many people as possible can see it. So the group that decided to do this, we went there and we passed out tickets to all of the people in our community so that they'd have an opportunity to talk to us and ask us questions if they wanted. And then we waited until the movie was over, and we just stood out there in case they had questions for us. And you could see in their faces what that movie did to them. So I just wanted to explain why we did what we did to you guys and to the people in the public. So that's all I had.
Thank you, Chief. Any questions for Chief from the board?
I'd just like to comment that I have no problem whatsoever what you did. I thought I saw the movie the week before, And if I'd known that, I would have waited.
Yeah,
But it was a very emotional movie.
it was.
And I'm glad you did it to get the awareness out to the public
Yeah.
and so forth. And it just amazes me the media. There's a media out there that's basically cutting this movie down and so forth. And you know, I tell people, well, it's not necessarily the people or the people that made it. It's what they were presenting is
Right.
what is the concern that everybody
Right.
needs to know and understand and what's going on. So
Well, I can tell you,
I was glad that you and the mayor and others came together and as a community to put that out there and say, hey, go
Yeah.
see this. 'Cause,
well, there was
I mean,
no
the more people
politics
see it, the
involved.
better, you know,
Yeah.
it's funny how you look at different people today after you've seen that movie.
Yeah, well, and there were over 1,400 people in our community who got to go see that. And I don't know how many of them would have if we wouldn't have done that. But I can assure you there were no politics involved. I seen some of the statements made. This had nothing to do with politics. It had everything to do with the children.
Thank you, Chief.
Chief, good
Any other
job.
questions?
Thank
Okay. Anything for public? Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Next will be Fire Department, Chief Batts.
Good evening, everyone. Since the last Board of Public Works and Safety meeting, Lebanon Fire has made 123 emergency calls of service, logged 309 training hours, completed 9 commercial pre-plans, finalized 62 commercial inspections, participated in 3 TAC meetings, and assisted with 2 public education events. Over the last 2 weeks, our inspection team has really worked with the schools, getting ready for the impending first day of school. I'd like to applaud them for their efforts, doing a great job. Mark Brown is our civilian fire inspector, is just doing a wonderful job with us. It was a great decision to move forward with that program. And that's all I have for this evening.
Thank you, Chief. Any questions for Chief from the board? From the public? Sir? Next will be Parks Department, John Messenger.
Good evening. Tipping off from what Chuck said, school's back in session next week. Hard to believe. So this will be the last full week of the pool being open. Then we'll switch to weekends through the month of August. Anyway, our July morning swim lessons are now complete. We're wrapping up our evening lessons tonight and tomorrow. We've really enjoyed the kids and the lessons. Hope the kiddos have enjoyed it too. Look forward to next year. Serve Day put out by Freedom Church, which Chuck tipped off, was held this past Saturday in Memorial Park. Weather was perfect and guests were able to enjoy Seashore Water Park for free backpacks, school supplies, lunch, job fair, clothes, shoe, drive, and more. This is a wonderful event put on by our community and look forward to it every year. They also did it in Thorntown, had also a real good turnout in Thorntown. If you need school supplies or anything and hear this, contact the Parks Department. There are some more backpacks and things available. So for those in need, there's help out there. Again, great community event. Our mother-son pool party was held on it will be held Friday, August 11th. The event will be at Seashore Water Park and will be held from 5:30 to 8. Cost is $20 per couple and $5 per additional child. That includes swimming, dinner, and other fun activities. Hope to see you there. Our Fall Pickleball League is now open for registration. Games will be played on Thursday evenings and cost is $30 per team. It's a doubles league and teams can be all male, all female, or co-ed. To register, visit our website or give us a call at our office. Our 2023 Daddy-Daughter Dance is now open for registration as well. This will be held on Saturday, August 26th from 6 to 8:30 at the Seashore Water Pool deck. Cost is $20 per couple and $5 per additional child. This year's theme is one of my granddaughter's favorite, mermaid, and we have 2 real-life mermaids on site. Tickets can be purchased ahead of time online or by giving us a call at the office. also be sold at the door. Can't wait to see everybody there, and the Little Mermaids. August 12th will be Boone County Cancer Society's annual Battle of the Barbecue, be held from 5 to 7. Wristbands are $10. There will be live music, food, a silent auction, 50/50, and lots of other fun stuff. And all that money stays in Boone County for the Cancer Society. Another great event that we have at the park. That's all I had.
Thank you, John. Any questions for John from the board? Anything for the public? Okay.
Thank
Sir?
you.
Thank you, John.
Next will be Engineering Department. Kevin Krulik.
Thank you, board members. Projects around town that are in the works. Let's talk about the courthouse square, where we, as you might have seen Facebook post today, we're going to be doing, and I've mentioned at the last report, we're going to be doing some sidewalk removal and replacement downtown, just taking care of the investment we've made there. Clearing up some tripping hazards is really the main thing. We need to make sure that the downtown is safe for all. It's the whole reason why we did that, is to make sure it's completely accessible, and we've got a hazard we need to take care of there along the south side of the square, really along the edge of the trail, all the way along Main Street. So we will be doing that in phases starting this week, and should be a relatively simple process and shouldn't provide a whole lot of headache to the businesses as we do it in spaces and maintain access to all building access at all times. We've also got to thank Derek Warren, who has spent a lot of time going door to door, walking through that process with all the building owners on what will be happening on the square. Also downtown, we'll also be doing in the coming weeks some additional railroad track epoxy painting on the sidewalk, particularly along Meridian Street between 32 and Main Street, and then redoing the paint that was installed across the Royal Cleaners entrance. That was just installed as paint, so this is an epoxy paint. It'll be a more permanent solution that won't wear off like the original road striping paint that was done with the original downtown project. So look for those things happening in the coming weeks. Pavement resurfacing program, really the only thing left for this year is the Riley Road widening. 2 offers. There are four properties that we have to acquire there from a right-of-way standpoint. 2 offers have been accepted. Third one is pending acceptance, we're told, from the owners. And then there's just one that remains that we have yet to hear a response from the owner, but those all offers were all delivered a little over 2 weeks ago. Community crossing programs for next year. We're in the middle of round 2 of this year's community crossing applications. We are going to defer our 2024 resurfacing program until the 2024 community crossing program opening in January. So a little bit different schedule than used to. We'll just, we'll push that, the bidding of our projects, again, will always be at the end of this year, and then we'll apply for the 2024 Round 1 Community Crossing Program to provide our match for those funds based on what budgets finalize later in the year. The Elmwood Bridge, the Whit Road Bridge, those are all finalized now. We're just working on closeout documentation with the state through those community crossing programs. The Whit Road larger project from Lafayette Avenue to Austin Drive, Stage 1 plans should be in our possession around Wednesday this week, and we'll begin reviewing those. We've also been working on early environmental coordination, expanding that scope down to the intersection of Lafayette Avenue and Marley Lane, just to make sure we can provide for adequate pedestrian connectivity. Grant Street project still remains a struggle at this point. We had, last report I had given, we were looking at the end of this week to be open to traffic at the intersection of Washington and Grant. It's still on the schedule to be paved this week, but most likely that paving will happen Friday and Saturday, and then open that intersection on Monday. That will also include the opening of the east side of Grant Street all the way up to to Fordyce also on Monday. So they'll be paving, starting at the intersection of Washington Street all the way north on the east side, those northbound lanes, in anticipation of opening that to traffic, again, one-way north traffic on Monday, July 31st. We'll keep you posted as we go through the week. Obviously, everything is weather dependent, but that's the schedule that I've received from the contractor as of about an hour ago.
Hey, Kevin, before we get off that, what's the main reason that's been causing the challenges with it?
The main reason right now, we've had some conflicts in the design that have been discovered as they've been pouring curbs, some drainage conflicts at the intersection of Washington Street, and then another drainage issue where the project ties into William Street to the east. So the east end of William Street, east of Grant Street. Those were conflicts that were discovered Wednesday last week and took a day or two to get resolved so that we could redesign and get things moving again. So those are all scheduled to be poured tomorrow and the day after, and then looking into paving then Friday, Saturday. Then we'll be back on schedule, looking at November for Phase 3, which would be the west half of the road, and then surfacing all areas of the project, also towards the middle to end of November, followed by striping. Again, we'll maintain one-way traffic to the north at all times. Once we open the intersection of Washington Street, there will be a brief closure for water main repairs at Ann Street and Williams, but we are scheduled to open that to traffic on prior to the 3rd of August when school starts. So school drop-off traffic as of right now will remain as it was last year. One-way traffic north. You'll be able to turn left onto William Street, or you'll be able to come in off of Ann Street and get to the drop-off lines for Central Elementary. There will be some construction ongoing in the intersection of Ann Street after school opens, but we'll be able to do that under traffic to try to keep things on schedule and as little inconvenience as possible. The Phase 2 project, we're just getting geared up to start the buying on the right-of-way from Indianapolis Avenue up to Washington Street. So we'll have more updates as we go through the end of this year as we get ready for 2026 construction. The Fordyce Street just up the road there, still on schedule for 2024 construction, ongoing coordination with the new elementary school project at Fordyce and John Bart. Having a meeting hopefully later this week to further coordinate the traffic studies for both projects. Big Four Trail expansion, I'm happy to report the rules section is complete now. All outstanding punch list items have been addressed. We're also working on the county-wide trail mile marker system. All the layout is complete from the fairgrounds north to the Boone-Clinton County line. The southerly layout is pending some Whitestown and Zionsville projects to complete their sections of the trail, but hopefully we'll be doing that layout later in the year, looking for install possibly in the fall or possibly in the spring, depending on when they wrap up their projects. Active living programs, we're nearing the end of our active living sidewalk cost share program for this year. We've had 15 applications completed, 2 are pending. We're down to about a $3,000 balance in the account, which coupled with the match from the homeowners gives us about $6,000 to complete those last 2 pending applications, and that will close out the project for the year. Also, happy to report the sidewalk replacements that complement the Big Four Trail along East Street from Elm down to Noble and south of Noble are complete now. We'll also be installing some additional bollards to refine our access controls around Admiral Longley Park. Those have been ordered and will be installed in the next couple of weeks. And then as soon as we get done with the trail mile marker signage, that contractor will fall back into our citywide wayfinding signage, which is scheduled to be installed later this year. And then on that same vein, we're also working with VS Engineers to develop a scope for a Midland Trace Trail Corridor planning study. As we're nearing the completion of the Big Four Trail, it's time to set our sights, on the next trail corridor, the next regional trail corridor. Stone Eater Bike Park. Earthwork donation from New Cold is essentially wrapped up at this point. There is potentially some additional authorization for earthwork from New Cold that we may hear about that authorization from their executives later this week. But as of right now, there's no longer any hauling happening. All the compaction and density testing was successful. Essentially, right now, we're wrapping up our dry detention excavations and our stormwater installation. That should wrap up later in the week, weather pending. And I'm happy to report this, that as of Friday, we have received our full IDEM permit for the project, and we'll begin moving forward into delivery of the park phases of the project now that we're wrapping up the landfill cap modifications. Also got a request from the executive director of Bicycle Indiana. She will be in town later this week and would love to visit the site just so she can give an update to her constituents. So looking forward to that visit and that site walk with her. Regional detention system, the Ken's Food land purchase, final closing documents for signatures are expected to be delivered later this week, and we'll move that through the closing process. Elizabeth Road drainage improvements, also we're looking to stake storm sewer structures later this week for a review and additional coordination with the neighbors. Last project, certainly not least, is the LEAP District and the projects associated with Eli Lilly. As of now, we now have county and city approval for reconstructions of 375 North, 450 North, the Eastern Bypass, and the North Witt Road section, at least from 450 North to about a quarter mile north of 500 North. We held a pre-construction meeting on the 10th of July regarding all those projects. And are moving those things forward. The last remaining permit from the county's perspective is that north section of North Witt Road, and that approval is just now pending a meeting that is scheduled for 7:31 in the evening to meet with the property owners and the IEDC and the county commissioners in executive session. Also, on our inspection department report since our last meeting, we've had 8 SWIP inspections, responded to 2 complaints. Scott Calvert, through our MS4 department, attended the 4-H fair at the Touch a Truck event, which the street department was also involved in. We handed out educational materials, coloring books related to the protection of our stormwater resources. We also issued 10 right-of-way permits, and you can review my report for the list of various projects that are ongoing in the construction process.
Okay, thank you, Kevin. Any questions for Kevin from the board? From the public? Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Next will be Planning Department. Ben Bontrager.
Good evening, board members. Planning Department report for this evening. We completed 71 building inspections, which may seem like it's quite a bit less than we have over the last couple meetings, but couple that with the fact that we had one inspector on vacation all of last week, so still had an incredibly busy couple of weeks. Also, additionally, issued 68 building permits, including 5 new single-family homes, so still seeing really solid activity there on the residential side, and also had some commercial projects moving forward as well. So still really good, strong construction activity we're seeing throughout the city, so that's really good news. On the code enforcement side, again, to continue to remain very active, 71 different unique activities over the last couple of weeks with different email communications, telephone communication, et cetera. So still remaining very active there, and that does also include, get my last page here, 16 new cases since July 10th. So still, again, getting a lot of folks contacting us for things that they're concerned about, and we'd encourage people to continue to do that so we can address those as they come up. A couple other quick things. later on here in this meeting, we'll be opening bids for the remodel for the planning and engineering space. There'll be two different bids that we'll be opening. One would be for the general contractor construction part of it, and the other one would be for the furniture. I understand we did get some bids earlier today, so that's good news, at least to start with. So we'll open those here in a little bit, and looking forward to getting that project started, hopefully September-ish, and finish before the end of the year. So that's a good thing that we got a couple bids on that. Then one final note, we do have a new employee pending approval of the salary ordinance amendment tonight by the council that will be starting next week on the 31st. And looking forward to getting Savannah on board. She's going to be assisting both the planning and engineering department. We've got a lot of projects we're working on right now. She's really going to help fill in the gaps on some of these projects we're trying to get done on the logistics side, and then also really starting to get her involved in the planning aspect of our department and moving forward there. So looking forward to that and getting some more folks on board as we ramp up with some of those additional projects that are coming for us. That's all I have for this evening.
Thank you, Ben. Any questions for Ben from the board, from the public? Sir? Next will be Street and Stormwater Department. Dave Newell.
Well, my report's not very long, but we did do the touch truck event. We do that every year. That's a great event. The kids, only thing you got to watch for is they kind of walk off with the keys, so you got to take keys out of the vehicle. But we just been on brush ever since our last meeting, so that's it, all hands on deck. We've had the sweeper out as well, but it's just trying to catch up. We finally got through everything last Friday, so now we're back to our normal routines of mowing and stuff like that. The next brush week, right around the corner, will be August 14th through the 18th, so. But those storms just kept us pretty busy, so. That's all I got.
Thank you, Dave. Any questions for Dave from the board? From the public? Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Next, and finally, but not least, will be Communications and Community Development. Joe LePage.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good evening, everybody. Starting with our Camp Street mural for our Communications and Community Development Department. We are nearing completion on that mural. Artist Anita Gordon, highly recommend her. She's been a wonderful community partner. You may have seen her doing some cabaret and canvas type events throughout town. Does a great job with our mural as well. Putting the finishing touches on that mural and adding the hidden tiger paws. That's kind of the last phase of this particular mural on Camp Street. The next one will be either on West Main Street, which will be a new mural, or phase twos of the one on State Road 32 or the one on Lafayette Avenue, which is dubbed the Ocean Escape mural. Not sure what will be the next step, but we look forward to continuing to inject art in our community. Eclipse 2024, mark your calendars for April 8th of next year. Lebanon, if you didn't know already, is in the direct path of the Eclipse experience, and so that's heading our way. From what I understand, all the hotel rooms in Lebanon and surrounding areas are already booked for that date and that weekend as well for next year. Met with Missy Krulik with the Heart of Lebanon, also representative from the library. Have a meeting tomorrow to talk further about that Eclipse experience within Lebanon, whether it be downtown or community-wide events. There'll be a number of different things to be able to showcase our community to the many visitors. As one who myself has been to an Eclipse experience, we were down in Kentucky. It's kind of a crazy atmosphere, so looking forward to having some out-of-town visitors from all over the globe potentially within our community. So that'll be kind of fun, talking around and kicking around 5Ks and scavenger hunts throughout the community, downtown events, bands, all those things that you would think that attraction of people would constitute. And so looking forward to having that again, April 8th, 2024, Eclipse happening in Lebanon. The schools are going to be letting out, and so the kids can experience that. It's a once-in-a-lifetime deal. Boom, right here in our backyard and our downtown as well and throughout the community. Finally, the listening experience within this chamber, the council chambers, and next door in the utility conference room will be being tweaked and improved just a bit. We have proposals from two different firms and looking forward to getting that third one this week. A couple road trips to different locations, attempting to improve the audio experience for not only our folks up in the front of the room, but you listening at home and watching on YouTube. You have voiced some concerns, both in the room and online as well. Those have been heard, and so the goal is to improve the quality, audio quality in this room for not only those people in here, but also those who are watching remotely as well. Going to share some info now, just so you know that it'll be coming up on City Council and also Utility Board agendas hopefully in the near future. We want to get this thing rocking and rolling to improve the experience as soon as possible, with a lot of things headed our way and happening within our community. So that's coming your way, not today, not tomorrow, but soon.
Thank you, Joe. Any questions for Joe from the board? From the public? Okay. That concludes department head reports. Thank you, Joe. Move on to old business. There's nothing on my agenda for old business. Is there anything from the board? Okay. New business then. Do I have consent from the board to take the agenda out of order? Consent? Okay. All right. Well, first item up here will be a road closure request for County Road 375, Poindexter Excavating. Kevin?
I touched on this in my report. So Poindexter Excavating is the mass earthwork and stormwater contractor, subcontractor for Fluor for the Lilly site. This is to install a 42-inch culvert underneath 375, just west of Witt Road. This will be for future expansion, but for right now, this helps to alleviate some drainage concerns that they have right now with the site development. So this is really an operational thing. It's part of the overall project. But because the road is still there and active, we're asking the Board of Works to allow for that closure for them to install that 42-inch pipe. This is scheduled to happen later this week. Closure will be for 5 days, but expected to take no longer than 3.
Is that box culvert, isn't that a box culvert that's right there?
It's not a box culvert.
East of what road there?
Yes, there is a small box just east. Actually, I think it's just a pipe. I don't think it's a box.
But a couple concrete head walls.
But yeah, there is an existing pipe there. This will be replacing, and this will be further expanded in through the site for their stormwater system. But this is to go ahead and get that initial phase of that upstream condition taken care of.
Any questions on that from the board? Okay, then, I would entertain a motion then to approve the road closure request for County Road 375 North as presented.
I'll make a motion, we approve the County Road 375 North closure. Is that going to be from the railroad tracks to Witt Road? Is that the plan, or is that?
Yeah, well, it'll be open to local traffic, so there'll just be a barricaded hard closure right there where they're doing the crossing. But yeah.
Okay.
Motion, is there a second?
Second.
Second from Bill. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? That is approved. All right, now we'll go on to the street closure request for the Heart of Lebanon. Missy Kralik?
Good evening. Before I get to the street closure, I just wanted to give you an update on our Alley Oop project. We had our campaign through Patronicity, and I'm pleased to announce that we received the $50,000 matching grant with the Indiana Housing and Community Development Authority. So through that campaign, we raised $101,806. We previously had about $7,000 from other fundraising events, so we have about $108,000 to spend on that alley. So we're really excited about that. We have already met with an owner's rep to help us deliver the project. We've asked for new invoices for the project since we did this project in 2020 and 2021. We had to update all those invoices, so we're waiting to get those. And then we've been working on utility locations and correcting a manhole in that alley that's lowered so that we don't have any type of tripping hazard there. So that's what we've been working on. I wanted to take a moment to thank many of the donors that donated to the project. Card and Associates was one of our MVPs. They really helped a lot to get this campaign moving. Of course, the City Council, we got a donation from the Food and Beverage Fund, so we thank them for that. Hickory Cottages, on behalf of Bel Canto, 42 LLC, and of course, Forza was our buzzer beater. They got us over the $50,000 with a couple days to go, so we thank them. And then, of course, many other businesses throughout the community gave to the project. A large percentage of city employees gave to the project, so I'm really glad to be a partner with the city. They kind of back up with what they do, so what they say. So really appreciate that. Lots of citizens from Lebanon, Indy, and even a citizen in Florida gave to the project. So thankful for that. And then, of course, Indiana Housing Community and Development Authority matched that with $50,000. So just wanted to say thank you to those in the room that gave to that project and those out there who gave their money so that we can make this a reality for the downtown. So that is the update on Alley-Oop. So the closure, I'll get to that now. This is for an event that was brought to the Heart of Lebanon last year by some citizens. It's called the Lebanon Fall Festival, and they are back up and running again, that committee that runs this, so they asked me to do a street closure request for them tonight. This would be for September 30th. The street closure would be on Washington Street from Lebanon to Meridian Street from Washington to Main, and then Main from Meridian to East. So it kind of makes a zigzag pattern down the street. That closure would be from 11 to 6 p.m. with the event running from noon to 5 that day.
What's the event again?
The Lebanon Fall Festival.
Lebanon Fall Festival.
And based on your diagram here, it looks like the intersections for Main and for Meridian will still be open, or at least partially open.
Partially, yeah. It's
Partially
a
open,
partial,
they're kinda
partially
angled,
open,
so,
yes.
okay.
So you can turn.
Yep. Any questions on that closure request from the board? Okay. We'll entertain a motion then to approve as presented.
I'll make a motion that we approve the street closing request as presented for the Lebanon Fall Festival, September 30th, 11 to 6 p.m.
Okay. We have motion approved. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Dick. All fair say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, that's approved. Thank you, Missy.
Thank you.
And thank you for the update on the Alley-Oop project as well. Excited to see that become a reality. All right, next we'll go on reverting back to our previous agenda here. The first item, or the next item, will be the bid openings for the Lebanon Municipal Building renovations. First opening will be construction, and then we'll open the furniture package. So I don't know if you have those sorted, or hard to say, so we're just, maybe we'll do them both at the same time. We'll just kind of see, so.
All right, I think I can probably figure out which is which here, but let me. Yeah, looks like these top two will be for the general contractor of the construction. This is one from, I guess I better open it up. This is from Cunningham Construction Group. Looks like we have a bid of $240,000 and $600, no cents.
What was that again?
This was from Cunningham Construction Group. This is for the construction, $240,600. And then this one is from TD Construction Company, $128,744.00. So we will.
What was our
You
name
said
again?
128744?
Yeah, 128744, and that's for TD Construction Company.
TB?
TD, as in touchdown.
TD, I'm sorry.
All right. Those are two construction bids?
And those are the two construction bids, so we'll take these under advisement, come back with a recommendation.
Okay, thank you, Ben.
And then we'll move on to the next one on the furniture bid. This is First one is from, let's see. Some commercial office environments. Let's see if I can find what we got here. Maybe it's in this one. Here we go. Nope, it's gonna give me a second here. We got a whole bunch of stuff in here. $66,121.94.
66121.94 cents, is that correct?
66121.94 cents.
Okay.
And then, final one here is from RJE. Let's see, I think I've got it as $52,849.99. So 52,849.99.
What was that first one again? 166?
The first one was,
Yeah. Okay.
have to dig it up again.
661, yep,
66.
121, yep.
Okay.
All right,
So we will take a look at those and come back to you with a recommendation on those as well.
yeah, thank you, Ben. Again, we'll take those up at our next meeting, which I don't have the date, which will be August 14th. So we'll select then at that point the lowest and most responsive and responsible bids on those. So, all right, thank you, Ben. Thank you, Rob. All right, that concludes what I have for new business. Is there anything from the board? Okay, would entertain a motion concerning the claims.
I make a motion, we approve the claims.
The motion to approve the claims. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Alan. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, any announcements or discussion? Okay, would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
Motion adjourned. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Bill. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay, again, our next meeting will be August 14th at 5:30 PM. We are adjourned.